This week on SCSU Local, we are taking a trip back to some of our favorite stories of the season.
We will be revisiting such places as Ham Lake, Monticello, and even Wisconsin.
We will travel to all these places and more on today's all-new SCSU Local, and it starts right now.
Welcome to the show that premieres Central Minnesota. I'm Josh Ackerman.
And I'm Danielle Latour. Thanks for joining with us today. To get us started on our trip down memory lane, how many of you remember the sport ski-joring?
For those of you who don't remember, ski-joring is a sport that is a mix of cross-country skiing and dog sled racing. Let's head back to Ham Lake to see the sport in action.
I'm Joe Fessler. I'm a ski-jorer and dog sledder. I'm here today to partake in the fun and festivities of the Ham Lake Snow Bowl and the Puppy Love sled dog race. You see all types of dogs. Today we'll see everything from your house lab to the traditional northern breeds that you see in dog sledding races. And that's what's great about ski-joring. It's really an urban sport in that retrospect. There's a lot of great community events and races in the Twin Cities area.
Like any other activity, whether it's cross-country skiing or ballet dancing, or yoga, it's nice to train with somebody who knows what they're doing instead of inventing a sport all by yourself. So anyone getting involved with the sport really needs to get it involved with other mushers who have been doing it a long time and not make the mistakes that they otherwise would make with regard to feeding the dogs a proper diet, training them correctly so they don't get injured, keeping the dogs happy because they love doing this. So why make them unhappy?
We're having a great time. It's a little warm for my dogs. I have Siberian Huskies here behind me, and they like the cold weather, so they prefer it to be -10. But it's nice for spectators and mushers alike, the human counterparts here, to have some warm weather and nice skies. So we're looking forward to a good race and fun trails.
My name is Diane Johnson. I am the Education Director for the Iditarod Trail Sled Dog Race. It's a privilege to work with children around the world who every year follow mushing, and we incorporate it into their classroom structure.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Cater. I'm one of the teachers and educators that has been following the Iditarod Dog Sled Race as well as some other dog sled programs, using it in my classroom to get kids motivated about learning. We have our students choose a musher. It could be a musher from any type of race, and then the students then track that musher and figure out how much time it will take the musher to get from one checkpoint to the other. And so we use our math skills for the students then to be able to average how long it takes for the musher to get there, how fast the dogs are traveling, and estimate as to the time of arrival of the teams as well. And we hope that other people will hop on board the sled and enjoy getting to know our love of dog sledding.
It's one of those things that can be very, addicting very quickly. I went from 1 dog to 3 dogs in a dog truck in a matter of a couple of years, and just really enjoy getting out during the winter and being active with my dogs.
Well, Josh, this certainly is a unique sport. Did you know the sport of ski-joring is actually Scandinavian?
No, I didn't. It's an interesting fact, though. Which brings us to our next story, which also brought us some interesting facts on the tasty maple syrup many of us eat.
St. John's took us through one of the earliest stages of harvesting, collecting the sap.
Let's head back to St. John's to see more.
The Arboretum has different festivals to invite people to come in and enjoy nature, and this one's our annual spring, sort of rite of spring to come out back on the land again and invite people out for maple syruping. And we had a festival today and one again next weekend, and we probably had 400 to 500 people today. and a lot of families, little kids, and each kid gets to come out and each family gets to tap a tree, bore into it to see if they can get some sap out of it. A little cold today, didn't run real well today, but then after they got it tapped, then they get to practice collecting. We have about 1,000 trees already tapped, and so they'll do a little collecting and then get to go see in the evaporator in the sugar shack and see some syrup being cooked.
During the late winter and early spring, the weather and science of maple trees allows us to go out and tap sugar maple trees and collect their sap and turn them into syrup. So if we get out here, we and find a sugar maple, we take what's called the brace and bit, which is a type of drill, I guess. And what we do is we look for an area that's suitable to tap, not too close to any previous tap holes. And then we drill it in about 2 inches or so to reach the xylem, which is where the sap comes from. And then once we've drilled our hole, we tap a spile in, which looks like this. And so then once we tap the spile in, we're able to put a bag or a bucket on, which will collect the sap and make it nice and easy for us to turn it into syrup.
There's a lot of student volunteers that come out, and then they collect it, bring it up into the sugar shack area where it's then processed.
Our evaporator is made up of 3 main parts. The bottom part is the arch, and it gets that name because it has that arch-like appearance to it. We stick the wood in the far end of the arch, or the fire box, which is 4 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot. Flames and hot gases kind of go all the way down and then up and out this far chimney. The pans where the sap is sit over the arch, so they get heated up. As they get heated up, the steam hits the cover and up and out the chimney and the steam goes. Now you might notice we have 3 pans in here. One pan starts from here and goes to the end. Another one goes between these 2 couplings, and the far one goes from this coupling to the far end. It's a continuous flow evaporator, meaning that sap is continually coming in one part of the evaporator, and then the finished syrup comes out at a different part of the evaporator.
We make about 150, 200 gallons of syrup, and we use it in a couple ways. The monks in the abbey have it as for their meals. We use it for sort of festivals and things, like we had maple syrup on all the ice cream today here. And we also use it as thank you gifts. So we don't actually sell any, but we also use it for that purpose. We encourage people to come out that want to just enjoy nature. So we'll have another festival next Saturday, and people can come and enjoy it. And we have some volunteers. I think slots still available for that. Probably another 20 could come. And then just people want to come out and just enjoy it while we're cooking, kind of watch our Arboretum website and know that they can come out and get a notice if they want to be a volunteer.
Well, it seems like St. John's goes through a lot of work to make maple syrup.
Maybe everyone will appreciate it a little more next time at the store.
Well, coming up after the break, we get a chance to look at some great local photography.
We'll also getting one last chance to hear about the Russian Romantics concert. Don't go away, SCSU Local. We'll be right back.